Hello everyone, this is Plank Time. I found this within the last couple days. It talks about, it's a book. It's called The Rapture 2028, America's Countdown to Apocalypse. And it talks about creation starting in the year 3973 BC. It says right here, knowing the exact year Christ was crucified and the start of the third 2,000-year period allows us to count forward 2,007 years to find the date of the birth of the Armageddon with accuracy and count backwards 4,000 years to the creation of the universe in 3,973 BC. We have learned that 6,000 years was set for the completion of man's government after Adam sinned. We have learned that this period was divided evenly into three 2,000-year segments. According to this person's calculations, the church started in AD 28, so we need to subtract 4,000 years from 28 to get to the date of creation week, which was about 3,973 BC. Now, I did a video, and I found this one in 3,973, July 28th. Now, I made one video, Revelation 12 sign. It was called Revelation 12 sign on July 28, 3973 BC, and the one on September 23, 2017, almost identical. I did that one on June 18th, and then I did one on July 3rd, 2017. It was 2 weeks later. It was called Setting a Date. Revelation 12 sign, September 23, 2017 / eclipse August 21st, 2017 and April 8th, 2024. Now, I never said in either one of those videos, I just went back and listened to them, I never said that Armageddon or the apocalypse or anything, the rapture, anything's going to start on September 23rd, 2017. I didn't say that. I don't think that. I really think that's just a sign. It's a sign warning us. Kind of like, you remember the tetrad, the 4 blood moons we had in 2014, 2015? The way I look at it is like, the 4 blood moons were like a stick of dynamite of truth, or the stick of dynamite of reality, or of the rapture. And then the fuse is taken out, and that's the 4 blood moons. And then the eclipse we're going to have on August 21st, coming up here, is the fuse. The fuse getting put into the dynamite of the rapture, dynamite of truth. Then, on September 23rd, 2017, the Revelation 12 sign, which it absolutely is a sign, just like the blood moons were, that's basically, I take it as, that's like the lighter being lit, or the match being lit, and then the fuse of the dynamite being lit. And I believe September 23rd will come, day will pass, we'll come into the 24th. I don't believe that day is going to be the day, because it tells us right in the book of Revelations, in Revelation 12, it tells us when stuff's going to happen. Okay, in Revelation 12, I talked about this in other videos, but it tells us in part 3 here, it tells us to be 7 heads and 7 crowns would be the dragon. It tells us in part 6 that it's going to be, gives us the date, the time, 1,260 days. It's not 3.5 years. It's not 1,259 days or 1,261 days. It's exactly 1,260 days. And in 14, it says the woman is given 2 wings of an eagle. I believe that is America, which is Mystery Babylon. I believe 100% America is Mystery Babylon. And in 15, it talks about the dragon, or the serpent, spewed water, which I believe I said in my other videos, it's a tsunami, or earthquake and then a tsunami that happens in America. And in 17, it talks about the dragon went to make war with the woman's offspring, which I believe is America, Mystery Babylon, Britain, and possibly Israel. On March 6, 2021, it'll be exactly 1,260 days since the September 23, 2017 sign. I believe that is when, like I said in my other video, is when the earthquake will come, and I believe it'll be in the Cascadia fault lines over by Washington State, Oregon, and Northern California, mostly Portland. I believe it's going to get hit hard. I believe an earthquake's going to happen there, and it's going to be a flood, and thousands of people are going to die. I believe it's going to be like a 9.7, and that's really, really big. That's the big one. That's the real big one. And then I was looking here, and I was looking just under St. Louis because I was going to mention St. Louis for something else, but I had just looked up the earthquake, so our fault lines, Cascadian fault lines. So when I put in St. Louis, it said St. Louis fault lines. And I said, St. Louis fault lines? What's this? And apparently the new Madrid fault lines are right here, right really close to Carbondale, Illinois. And Carbondale, Illinois is where the eclipse in 2017 and the one 7 years later in 2024 will come by. It'll be like the first one will come down here, the second one will come right up here. So are we going to have possibly earthquakes here too in the new Madrid? And then I believe, the reason I was looking it up is I believe in St. Louis there's going to be riots, because if that does happen and we do have the Cascadia goes, the earthquake and the tsunami, and all those people die, well, it's going to be like Katrina. And especially if the new Madrid one goes too, and no matter what Donald Trump does, which I believe he will be in office because it will be 2021 and there is an election in 2020, but I believe Donald Trump will be America's last president. I believe with the day he was born, with the eclipse, the rare every 18-year eclipse he was born on, that was seen in China, Russia, Israel, Middle East. I believe that the day he took office, the 777. I just believe he's in a trumpet. It's talked about in the Bible and by Nostradamus. I believe Donald Trump will be America's last president. So he will have to win the election then, if in March 2021 he's president. So they'll be even mad. The left will be so mad at him already for winning, and then this will happen. And then you remember with George Bush and Katrina, how down there they had a governor and governor that was Democrat, mayor, or a governor and mayor that was Democrat. Their House and Senate was all Democrat, but George Bush, because he was Republican, got blamed for it. So they'll do the same thing with no matter how good of a job Trump does during this, they're gonna find something to go after him with, and then they're gonna have riots. I bet like Antifa and all those people will be rioting in St. Louis, just like Dimitri Duneman said would happen. And the spies here in America, which a lot of people that go to colleges now are for some reason lefties and communists, and they'll give in the information to China, Russia, who knows what kind of spies we have over here. But Russia and Putin and China will get the information they need, and I believe I don't think it'll happen that day on March 6th, 2021. I think that's just going to be the earthquake and all the upheaval in America. But when I do believe what's going to happen is on September 23rd, or around September 23rd, 2021, I believe that is the day Mystery Babylon, which is America, will be destroyed in 1 hour, like it says, by 7 countries: Russia, China, Turkey, and 4 other ones. China, who's known for the red dragon, they're known for the dragon. Turkey, whose president is Erdogan, whose last name actually spells dragon. It's not even like you need to add another letter in there to get dragon. His last name actually spells dragon, and then you have the E left over, that's it. And his first name in Russian is Red Zep. So you got the red dragon there, China with the red dragon, and you have Russia with their Satan II nukes. These things are insane. These nukes, they go so fast that our radar cannot pick them up. They're so big. They're as big as the ones, as big or bigger than the ones we sent the astronauts to the moon on. I mean, they're huge, and they hold like thousands of nuclear bombs on them. And just one of these nuclear bombs called Satan IIs that Russia has, not only can beat our, we can't track them, we can't shoot them down, and they can take out a landmass the size of Texas. So Putin's not going to need too many of these, and in 1 hour, we wouldn't even know what hit us. So I believe it'll be there. I believe it'll be in September 23rd, 2021, or around September 2021 is when I guess the 7-year Armageddon will start, which I'll show you later will equal in exactly for 60 years from the 3973 BC Revelation 12 sign, which wasn't a Revelation 12 sign because it wasn't predicted yet, but you know what I mean. And I checked to see if there's any Jewish holidays around March 6, 2021, and I found one on March 5th, 2021. It's I'll show you. It's right here. It's I won't be able to pronounce these, but I'll try. Yeah, Shabbat Parah. Sorry. And then it's look at this, the red whatever this is. I'm sure other people know better than I do. The red heifer. You got red dragon, red here. I guess it's a holiday which is kind of odd. It's for well, not odd, but it's the Jewish people purifying themselves, so they're pure when they do sacrifice. You know, sacrifice, America being sacrifice kind of thing. That's what I meant by odd, like ironic or something. I'm trying to say. So I thought I had the year right when I said it was 5,990 years since this sign here, but Stellarium has a year 0, and it doesn't do that. It goes from year 1 or 1 BC to 1 AD. So I think it might be the year. It might be 5,989 years since the sign appeared, which would actually add up right for this because it's 11 years before the 6,000 years. So if you take September 23rd, 2017 to March 6th, 2021, it actually might happen March 6th or 7th because it says she goes into wilderness for the 1,260 days. Well, when I checked on how long that is, it actually ends on March 6th. So that would be the last day of her protection in the wilderness. So it could be March 7th. So I could be off there on that day. But anyways, to March 6th, 2021 is 3.5 years. So that's 5,992.5 years. Then to September 2021, it's another half a year, so that's 5,993 years since then. Then if you go to from September 2021 to September 2028, that'd be 7 years. That would be exactly 6,000 years. So if the rapture starts in September 2021, right after America is destroyed, Mystery Babylon, and it goes for 7 years and ends at 2028, that would be perfect. That would work out perfect. 6,000 years since time began, and then we have 1,000 years of peace. The only thing that I actually, when I did this, when I made one of those videos, I kind of thought when I looked at 3,973 BC, I thought could that be the beginning of time? But then I added the years up. I added the Jewish calendar. We're at now 5,777. Well, that's only 212 years from when time began to the Jewish calendar started. So could Adam and Eve be there, and then Noah come, and then the flood happen, and then Noah populates the earth, and then the Jewish religion starts in 212 years? Or maybe Noah happens after that. I'm not really clear on all that stuff, but it is only 212 years before the Jewish calendar starts. Oh, and I forgot this when I did my video, the one on setting a date. I forgot to say that I was talking about Oregon. The eclipse enters there in 2017 and leaves South Carolina, and then the one in 2024, it enters Texas and leaves Maine. I kept saying it like it's exactly in South Carolina. It doesn't go in another state, and Texas and Maine and Oregon too. I was talking about they're in just that state. And the reason I was saying it was I was going to say something, but I forgot to say it in the video, so I kind of left it hanging. But why I was saying it is because Oregon is a really left-leaning state. Portland, really left. And it enters there, and it comes out at South Carolina, a very conservative, probably the second most conservative state. So it enters a liberal one, leaves a conservative one, and then 2024, 7 years later, it enters Texas first, which is the #1 most conservative state, and then leaves Maine, which is a left-leaning state. So in 2017, it enters a left-leaning state, exits a conservative right-leaning state, and then 7 years later enters a conservative state and exits a left-leaning state. Is that telling us something? I don't know. I just forgot to say that in that video. I wanted to clear that up. So, thanks a lot.